Hello all and welcome back to Kureos Gaming. I'm continuing my mundane run of Skyrim, in which I'll be using only magic for combat, and I will not be leveling any of the mundane skills such as lockpicking, blacksmithing, one or two-handed weapons, or any of the armor skills. Excuse me a moment. In my last session, what I did was, before I get to the last session, so before I even get to that, I have recorded this video a couple of times. The first time, found out that the audio was pretty bad. In fact, what I had attempted to do was use my speakers rather than headphones, which I had not done before with any of my recordings because I was worried that the mic would pick up the speakers. So I figured I'd try it, see what happened, and what ended up happening was there was an echo. And I didn't notice the echo at first because it was quiet, but it is very distracting once you notice it, and I decided that that wasn't a good quality of recording to provide, so I decided that I was going to re-record it. And then I tried another recording, and in that case had some other issues. So I'm starting this again. What I'm doing in this playthrough, not specifically this session, but in this playthrough in general, is going through three main quest lines. One, the main quest line about the Dragonborn, and she's going to be looking at a dragon for a little while, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to let her look. The dragon does not attack, and I tried attacking it, and it did not respond to my attacks, so it's not real important. So, as I was saying, in this playthrough, which includes all of the videos that I've recorded in this playlist so far, the NoMundane playlist, what I'm doing is the main quest line about the Dragonborn, following the quest line from the Imperial side, as far as the Imperials versus Stormcloaks fight is concerned, and doing the College of Winterhold quests, since I'm basically a caster. So what I'm working on doing currently is catching up on some of the Imperial quests. I am willing to do some of the other side quests. It's not that I'm not doing them at all. Pardon me. It's that I want to be sure that I catch those three primarily, because those are three of the main plot lines. So the two main plot lines, I think, are the Dragonborn and the Imperials, and then the College plot line is a plot line that develops for a particular subclass. So I'll be following, the Stormcloak side of the Stormcloak versus Imperial plotline in a different playthrough.
Something to report?
Yes, reporting for duty.
I need you to deliver some false orders to the Stormcloak commander in Dunstad. But first, we need to get our hands on some rebel orders to make the forgeries. The Nightgate and Candlehearth Inns are frequent stops for Stormcloak runners. See if you can't convince one of the innkeepers to help you. One way or another, get me those documents. But don't do anything rash if you go to Windhelm. Well, soldier, can you do this?
Consider it done.
May the gods keep you.
Alright. So where is my horse after that dragon? You? Nope, you're another horse. You're another horse. Is there some random horse just sitting around?
Stay sharp.
Nope. Alright. So, to get my horse back, I will fast travel to where I am. There you are. You learn to fly sometime. Okay. So, I've got nothing on my minimap, which means I need to do this. So, in the last session, what happened was General Tullius sent me to Jarl Bolgruf in Whiterun to inform him. No. Remove it. Where's way the heck down here? So I want to start at Corvinjund. Anyway, to inform him that it was likely that the head of the Stormcloaks was going to be attacking Whiterun. Balgruuf then had me take his axe to the leader of the Stormcloaks as a message to ask, are you going to attack us? Or are we at peace? The response was, you're going to get attacked. I do not want to fight you. Go away. I don't like fighting those things. They're too hard to hit with spells for me. In an enclosed area, at one point, I did okay attacking it, or fighting one of them, but out in the open like this, I have not had good luck. So I'm just going to run away from it. Anyway, so Bulgariff found out from the leader of the Stormcloaks that they were considering them enemies if they did not join them. And so he accepted assistance from the Legion, and then the Stormcloaks attacked Whiterun, and I participated in the defense of Whiterun, which was not a great event. Being a caster, running out of magicka essentially means that you run out of the ability to be useful, and I did that a number of times. So now, after defending Whiterun, we're continuing to work for the Legion.
Ah, hello there, traveler. Come to the Night Gate for food or lodging?
Neither. I'm wondering about Stormcloak couriers. Have you seen any lately?
I tend to keep my patrons' privacy.
I can appreciate that, but perhaps you would like some more gold.
Well, if you insist. He was here, but he left. If you leave now, you can probably catch him. Or you can just wait here. He'll be back soon enough.
Alright, so let's go see
Anything you need, just holler.
I can catch him. So I've leveled, but having played this before, I know that the next thing I'm going to encounter as far as combat, well, not the next thing. The next thing I'm going to encounter as far as combat is the courier himself. After the courier, however, the next thing I'm going to encounter as far as combat is another battle scenario, and I'd rather have leveling in my back pocket as a way of quickly regenerating my magicka, because I really don't like being a caster in a battle situation, like multiple sides, multiple people. Having played this section already, I'm going to take advantage of having that foreknowledge of what's coming and save the level up function, especially since I don't really have any perks that I want to use to do that. Alright, what do we got here? That's a bunch of drunk guys. Down here is a wolf. Where's the courier, though? Here's the courier. Okay. So, among other things that I'm going to take advantage of knowing is the fact that the courier won't talk to me. I'd prefer to talk to the courier, but knowing that he isn't amenable to that, just get the Stormcloak documents, and he's not carrying any cash. So, now I can head back to Legate Ricke and let her know that we have the documents, and she'll send me on to my next assignment. On the bright side, now I can just fast travel. And forgive me if my voice sounds weird. I've got a bit of a cold, and I'm using a cough drop to try to reduce the amount I'm coughing, since I'm going to be talking.
Very good. Let's see what you have here.
Sure thing.
Interesting. They know more of our plans than I expected.
Well, that's bad.
It would seem Fort Dunstad is in need of reinforcements. We'll make sure they won't be getting those. One moment while I correct some of these documents. That should do it. Make sure those forged documents get to the Stormcloak commander in Dawnstar. It'll throw him off our trail, allowing us to maneuver more freely.
Can do.
All right, then.
Alright. Unfortunately, I haven't been to Dawnstar yet, so what's... Looks like my best bet's just... Well, I can fast travel to Ingvild. Come that way. It's about the same. Excuse me. So, off to Dawnstar with me. The other thing I'm going to do is basically avoid combat with anything unimportant, because it'll just slow me down, and it risks killing me because I'm not the strongest character in the world with having focused primarily on increasing magicka rather than increasing health or other things. So for example, these two guys who are currently running towards me, I'm going to ignore rather than jumping down to fight them. The archer shouldn't be able to hit too much if I'm careful about it, and definitely not going to fight that ice troll. I mean, even when I've wanted to kill ice trolls, I've had a really bad luck with it. They're pretty tough buggers, so I tend to ignore them. Alright, so Dawnstar should be pretty close here. Yep, they're just on the other side of this hill. And then, when I did this before, I listened to a conversation between the Jarl and some Imperial sympathizers. The Jarl is very much so not an Imperial sympathizer. However, there was a guard standing right next to the conversation, so I couldn't really hear it because he kept talking to me. So I'm going to try and come in from the other side, see if I can't get the guard to not, voice his opinion on unimportant matters when listening to that discussion. I'm also going to dismount over here. We'll see how this goes.
Divine sake, Skald. Who do you think we're threatening with our old war wounds? We're not soldiers anymore.
Your man Horik is wearing his old Legion armor. What should I make of that?
He's proud of his service, Skald. The Legion taught us loyalty, and we're loyal to Dunstad.
This isn't over. I catch you sending one letter to General Tullius. I'll have you both executed.
You never talk much about yourself, do you, Horik? I swear, these past 30 years you've been at my side, and I think I barely know you.
What's to say? I was born on a farm, joined the Legion when I came of
Can't
age,
sleep
and I've
well
served you
no
ever
matter
since.
how much drink I
What
put
about
in
your
me.
family? There must have been someone waiting for you back at the farm, wondering if you were ever coming home.
No, can't say there was. My parents died when I was young. You and the Legion have been my only family since.
I see. You're a good soldier, Horik. I'm sorry for intruding.
You weren't. There's just not much to it.
Alright then. So apparently Dawnstar is loyal to the Stormcloaks.
By the divines, I'm tired.
Okay.
We'll show those faithless dogs who this land belongs to.
I have important documents for you, sir.
Is that so? I don't recognize you. Why aren't you wearing your Stormcloak colors?
Ditched it for this. Easier to sneak past the enemy.
I suppose it would be. Good thinking. All right, let's take a look. Ah, good. Looks like the reinforcements for the fort are on the way. And we have some information about enemy troop movements as well. Excellent. It's not easy running messages, what with Imperial scouts crawling all over the place. Well done. Why don't you grab yourself a drink at the Wind Peak before heading back? Until
Right.
next time.
Thank you. And I was going to see if I could disenchant a helm.
Keep
Nope.
nudging more and more of our
Can't.
guard to the front
Bummer.
lines. The way this is going, we won't be able to defend our own borders.
Nonsense. The best place for our
Meh,
men
internal
is driving
politics.
the Imperials back. I will.
Alright, so now back to Legate Ricky. Horse. Travel. Alright. Nope. That's not the way I wanted you to go. That's better. Alright, excuse me. So,
Something to report?
reporting for duty. Click.
Your objective is Fort Dunstad. Meet the soldiers preparing for the attack, then join them in wiping out the rebels. Once you prevail, we will garrison the fort. Well, soldier, are you up to the task?
The fort is as good as ours.
I knew I could count on you, soldier.
Alright. Now, Fort Dunstad is south, and the easiest way to get there is going to be from here, and just to ride southeast. Alright. That's fine. We'll just head that way. Without riding directly over the cliffs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride out there. I'll quick save it as I meet with the Imperial troops. I died a number of times in the last couple of attempts I did at this, and the ride back is fairly slow and uneventful and uninteresting. I mean, the first time you can certainly talk about things and have some level of commentary going on while you ride. The second time, however, it's just kind of dull, and then the third time you're wondering why on earth you're doing this again. So I'll get there and quick save it. I'm actually not looking forward to the run when I join the Stormcloaks. At this point, I'm fairly firmly convinced that the Stormcloaks, as much as they might have a good point in terms of the religious liberty concern and the over extension of the authority of the Thalmar, the cost of what they're doing is far too high, and they're setting their people against one another, which is not good. So that has its own issues. Yes, I know, I'll open my skills menu to level up later. So I want to see what the plot, how the plot progresses from their perspective. So that's why I'm going to be doing another run through later. In that run through, it'll be a low magic run, meaning I'll only use the minimum amount of magic necessary, specifically shouts, to complete the quests. Beyond that, I'm just going to do the, what do you call it? I'll just be using no magic in combat, no magical weapons, that kind of thing. But it's because I want to see more plot in the game, and I might as well record it while I'm at it. So we'll quick save here. We'll get off the horse, make sure I've got the right spells equipped. Firebolt, yep, and then we'll continue on. Let's go, fellas. Pardon me. Alright. So, once again, I don't have a lot of magicka. I don't do as much damage as I'd like to per shot. So, I'll do what I can. Which in part is going to involve occasionally hiding as I attempt to regen magicka, because trying to regen magicka during combat is nearly impossible. Oh, come on! You jerkish. Ow. Okay. So the other thing... See, I'm already low on magicka and I've only cast a few spells. The other thing I'm going to do is take a potion of regenerate health. So... Ow. So that I can get health back. Where on earth are shots coming from that I'm getting hit? Maybe it was friendly fire, I don't know. Okay, pardon me a moment. I need to set up a hotkey to mute my microphone. I haven't done that yet. But coughing into a microphone is kind of a bad thing. Alright. So I'm up to about half my magicka. Freak, dude, if you would get out of the way, I could go help with the fight. But you want to... I mean, I don't blame you for wanting to shoot from here. I'd like to do the same thing. But I'm not an archer. I don't have what it takes to make that really effective. Unfortunately, spells travel much slower than do arrows. So it's a lot harder to cast... See, there you go. From extreme range. Now, the way this environment works, I had thought that they spawned out of doorways and stuff, and so I could hide next to a doorway and watch them spawn. Unfortunately, I got up there and found out that... Well, actually, you know what might be the case is there might be a trap door up there. But anyway, 3 of them spawned right on top of me. I had no defense against them, and I ended up dying a horrible, horrible death rather quickly. So what they do is there is a continuous spawn of... Oh, come on. Continuous spawn of Stormcloak soldiers and a continuous spawn of Imperial soldiers. And the Imperials essentially just need to kill a certain number of Stormcloaks for the fort to count, which is that percentage that you see counting there, for the Stormcloaks to count as defeated. Now, the side of that is, it's interesting because there is not a counter, an alternative counter, so to speak, that tracks whether or not the Imperials are close to dead. So there's not a speed at which you have to defeat the Stormcloaks. The other interesting thing, in my opinion, is that there's not a lessening of the spawn rate of the Stormcloaks. They continue to come at a fairly steady pace, even as their percentage drops. And you never have to worry about entering Fort Dunstad. You can just sit out here and pick them off as they respawn. I don't even know what would happen if I tried to go into Fort Dunstad. I haven't made that attempt because, frankly, I've died so many times that I'm really, dang it, not happy about the thought of being, excuse me, of being, what do you call it, adventurous in my tests. I'd rather be sure of what's going on around me and stick with the fairly well-known. This is going much better than my first couple. This corner definitely works for the sake of regenning magicka. I've taken less damage, which I think is more due to how they're organizing the fighting than specifically towards any skill on my part. This guy's, going to chase me, so I need to run away, because I can't afford to try and face a, what do you call it, melee character on my own. Alright, so I need to step out, because there's too many attacks coming my way right now. I don't have the magicka to survive this. So, let's see. When it's dark, it's hard to tell the difference between the two sides. So I'm a little frustrated by that. Okay, so we've completed the battle for Fort Dunstad. Sweet. Alright. When you know what you're doing, it definitely goes much faster than it does when you do not. Alright, so that's probably the last guy they need to deal with. So I can return and report to General Tullius that we have accomplished this. And we'll see what Tullius wants us to do next and go from there. What I'd like to do is the next time I play, I actually want to get the Staff of Magnus for the College of Winterhold quest. This one seems like it's going to go on for a while. And since I didn't need to do this, wish I'd thought about it, I'm going to level up. So every 4th level, I'm putting a perk in, or I'm putting a point into health. So this is 18, which is a 3rd level. So I'm going to put that in magicka. Alright, and then there are no perk points that I want to spend right now. I don't want people to run away with fire, and that's the one perk point I have available here, so I'm not going to use that. The one that I want, though, is here in Illusion. Unfortunately, it's way up here at requires 50, and I'm only, 36. That's only 14 more perk points. That's not that bad. So for now, we'll just...
fancy clothes, but you look like
Taking the Pale gives us another port in Dawnstar. It puts us within striking distance of Windhelm. That should make Ulfric a bit more cautious, huh? Battles are won by trained and disciplined men. Wars are won by talented and exceptional individuals. I'm raising you to Prefect. Take this blade as a gift and symbol of your new rank. You've earned it.
A dwarven shield is a blade? You say so. What are my new orders?
Make your way to our camp in the Rift. We have a few surprises for the Stormcloaks lined up.
Okay, I can do that.
For the Empire.
Right, so there's a spell that I can spam. That increases my muffle. There we go. That increases my illusion. And the more people I cast it in front of, the more rapidly it raises my illusion. So,
One from the college. Heard about you.
and people aren't necessarily concerned about the fact that you're casting it around them. So, I can just kind of generate. Doesn't last very long, but
Concentrate. The battlefield is full of distractions. Ignore them. Focus on your targets.
yep, good advice.
Yes?
Nothing. I'm just going to cast this one more time. Alright. So, reunification of Skyrim. They're going to regain the Rift. And then the Staff of Magnus. So we can look at the map. They're both down this way. This is the Staff of Magnus, which is in Labyrinthian. Probably be easiest to get to by coming up from Silent Moon's camp. And then, excuse me, then we have to come down to the Rift Imperial camp, which we can get to from Iverstead after that. So we'll do Labyrinthian next time. That'll work. You know what? Before I leave, I'll go sell some stuff. Just because I have no real interest in holding on to equipment that I'm not using.
Seems there's no end.
What have you got for
Looking
sale?
to protect yourself or deal some damage?
I'm looking to sell junk. Alright, weapons. Elven Sword of Scorching. I think I already have that enchantment. So I'm just going to sell it. Apparel. I can't disenchant this, so I'll sell it and I'll sell this. And then miscellaneous. I've got 3 lockpicks. I'll sell those. None of these. Well, steel arrows sell, so I'll sell them just to have the gold. And with that, I'll be done.
Return
Thanks, all.
anytime you need arms.